Hi guys, my name is Diane. Welcome to Daddy Di's Crafty Corner. Today I'm coming to you with a Sunshine and Bee Designs digital stamp giveaway hop. How's that? So it's featuring this image right here, which is called the Woman Medical digital stamp. And it's a gorgeous stamp of a female nurse or maybe doctor with some great sentiments. So I'm going to be coloring this up today. Now this is part of a giveaway hop. Unfortunately, this hop is only for the UK and the United Kingdom and Europe only. This is not going to be for the USA participants. So I apologize for that, but I did want to bring this company out there and show this to you because this company has an online store called the Little Paper Tree. Now, the other digital stamp, the other floral image wreath that you saw to the right when this began, I'm going to do that off camera and feature it in a card as well. I purchased that stamp. And they have, this store features their own brand, their own line, which is called Sunshine and Bee Designs. And then they also have an online store, and the store is called the Little Paper Tree. Now, what this company is about is its goal is to bring American products that are hard to get in the United Kingdom, well, and in Europe in general. And they feature so many of the name brands. I mean, they have, let's see, I can't even remember, that's how many they have. But they have Altenew, Lawn Fawn, Tim Holtz, I remember Heffy Doodle, Brutus Monroe, and a lot more. They offer so many brands and they have so many products from these brands. So if you are in the UK, then you've got a place to go where maybe you can find that stamp that's not going to cost you so much money to get it to your door, right? So that's what this is what this store is about. But they also have their own line of products as well that they're selling, and they've got some super cute stamps. That they have digital images as well, which is what this blog or what this hop is about. And this image that I'm doing, the medical nurse, is free. So you can go on over no matter where you're from and download that right now and, color it up for someone who you want to show a little bit of love to, who may be a nurse or a nurse tech or a doctor, and, show them a little love. Now is the time to do that because they are beyond worked to death right now, I can tell you. I have a daughter that's a nurse here in the United States, and it's tough for the medical field right now. So I decided to color this in a blue scrub color, which is very popular where we live. But I wanted to add a little bit of a hot pink to it, show a little bit of an edge, right? So I colored it in just some basic blues. I think I used 3 or 4 blues, and then I added some pinks to the pocket and the little trim on the sleeve. I'm going in with some skin toned markers like the E000 and the E00 and E11, and I think just a touch of E13. And what I do is I go in with my lightest color and I kind of put it where I think I'm going to want a little more highlight, and then where I'm going to want a little more dark tone, a little more shadow. That's the word I'm looking for. And then I go back with all my colors and I kind of fill it in. So because this image is a little bit smaller, well, and you guys know my eyesight is terrible, I try to go in with my light color first to where I want to touch on. So I wanted to make sure that around her wrist was darker, around her finger was a little darker, underneath her arm, and then where the muscles were kind of making, the strong symbol or the, whatever they call it, the bicep move there. And then underneath her hair and around the back end. So in my mind, the light source is coming from the left down towards her face. So that's where the lightest colors are going to be, hitting her arm where it's not curled or not undershadowed. And that's what I was trying to do, even though this is kind of a small image for a for me to be doing this in. I'm going to add a little R20 for her little cheek area, and I think I used the same R20 for her lips. I think I did. I might have gone with a little darker color. I think I did actually go with a darker color. And then I'm going to put a darker pink around the corners of her mouth to make it really pop in the center like it's a little brighter. And then I'm going to start working on her hair. So again, I just wanted to touch on what this is about. I don't remember all the colors that I used for this video, and I put them I've got grandchildren running around the house, so I really quickly put these markers away this day before I wrote down all the colors. So unfortunately, I cannot share them with you this time. But I thought that showing you that coloring an image like this isn't so hard to do. I really just picked a handful of colors. I stayed within the color range, and this image is drawn so well that you can really make it look fantastic. I did at the end give her a little bit of an eyeshadow. I think I used a purple, and I'll show you a close-up when we're done, but I think it turned out super cute. And I did a little thing with the background as well, which I'll show you. So the image comes just as you see it, just the way it is, as I'm coloring it. It has those two sentiments, and it has the image. I wanted to use both sentiments for my card, but I wanted to give it a background as well. So what I did is I did a watercolor base for my background for my card front. And then I ran that through my printer, and I printed this image with the sentiments on my watercolor background that I made. You'll see that when I put it together. And that is super easy to do if you have a printer where you've got a slide through, where you can add thicker cardstock. So that's exactly what I did. I took a piece of watercolor cardstock and this image, which I had stored on my phone. I sent it through, printed it out, and then I was able to fussy cut my little girl and add her to the front of the card. And then I had my two sentiments just as it was shown, and could go on with the card. So for her face, I'm just going in and darkening up and doing more shadows. I really feel like maybe I should have cut part of this out so it wasn't so long, but I cut out so much already. I thought you wouldn't get the gist of it, right? But for every single part of this card that we're doing, there are 3 to 4 shades of the color, okay? Now we need to move on to her hair, and I'm hoping at this point I speeded through this hair because hair is where it can be more difficult for me. I like to start off with, again, like I said, my lightest color. And I like to do a flicking motion, and I like to keep my shadows where I believe the sun would hit them, or where the hair would be lighter if it were just natural everyday hair, right? So I kept some areas that I wanted whiter. She has a little bun on the top of her head that we'll address in just a little bit. And I kept this all in the E families. I believe I started with E31 and went up to E39, although I barely used that E39. The E39 was my darkest color, and I just touched it with the E39 at the end. Now, when you're dealing with an image that's this small, or the head, the hair, the image is a good image, it's a good size image, but the face itself is a little small. You have to be super careful with your flicking, or they're going to be your strands of hair are going to look a little thick. And I ended up with mine being a little thick. So it's something just to practice with. You just have to practice barely touching the paper to get the littlest of lines with Copics. And again, if your Copic is super juicy, it could let out more ink than what you really want for hair flicks for that small of an area. But I think in the end it turned out super cute. Okay, so going back to the shop, when this, first of all, this blog hop I learned about from a Facebook group that I am a part of, which I will also list below. And the name of that group on Facebook is Craft Collabs, and it's actually hosted by Miranda Mathis. You'll know her here from YouTube. Her channel name is Multiplicity Crafts, and that's a great group to follow if you guys ever want to have, do a collab or know about just things in this community. The Facebook page is fantastic. I love it. So I will link that below so you guys can make sure that you're following along over there with us as well. So again, back to this image. I'm coloring the hair. Now, the hair is normally what will take me the longest, and like I said, I probably should have cut some of this out for this, but I really just wanted to chit chat with you. It seems like I never get a chance to get on film anymore, and so I wanted to be able to just chat with you. I've been doing a lot of the free images like this one that have to do with the medical community and so forth, just for the practice of coloring, and also because it, you know, every time I go to their website to get one of their free images, I'm also purchasing a few of their other digital images as well, which gives me, you know, a little more stuff in my digital image files that I can pick from. So I love the idea of digital images anyway. You guys know that. It's one of my faves. And it's great that this store has the digital images and their own designs, as well as offers all of those other items that you may be looking for in the UK that are, you know, things that are super easy for us to get here in the United States isn't always so easy for people in the UK to get. I know that. I've got quite a few friends that are, you know, have a hard time getting the products over there, mostly because of the shipping because of the shipping cost, not cost is. So I'm going to go ahead and go finish this image, which seems like it's taking me forever. And this is a fraction of the time that it actually took. But when I did it, it seemed like it went by so fast. Isn't that funny how that happens? I completely enjoyed coloring this image. So I think she's complete now. Isn't she pretty? She's so pretty. I know I made her eyes a little dramatic, but nonetheless. So this is a watercolor sheet that I wanted to put it on. It matches the pink in her shirt sleeve. So all I did is just send it through my printer with those exact, just the way it came. And then I went ahead and fussy cut my image. I'm going to add, I've already added some fun foam to the back of this watercolor sheet that is cut smaller than my card front. I really wanted to focus this as a portrait, if you would, you know, like a picture. So I really framed it up that way. And then I'm going to glue my image down or tape it down. Again, can't really remember what I did here, and I can't really see what it was. No, I'm just gluing it down. I did pop up the background. I'm just going to glue her down exactly where it printed, and I printed it light so that so it wouldn't be super dark, right? And isn't it pretty? It turned out so pretty. So I left the bottom section of my watercolor panel a little bit lighter because the words were smaller, and I just think this turned out adorable. So here's a little close-up. You can see how that dark color was hard to get on that hair. And then this is that floral arrangement that I showed you in the beginning and the card I made with it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to follow along with the next participant in the hop, and go on over to Sunshine and Bee Designs and check out their little store. And don't forget to tell Miranda I said hi, and check us out over on the Crafty Collabs Facebook page. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.